finally, the winner in the English language. From Fatima Balika Mahavidyalaya, Puttalam, we have Hifzul Rahman Fatima Rasha.
Respected clergies, His Excellency President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka and the distinguished chief guests, I am very pleasure and privileged to welcome all of you and greet you a very good evening today. And first of all, I am very grateful to be given this wonderful opportunity. All the grace goes to Almighty and the grateful to be given this wonderful opportunity. All the grace goes to Almighty and the peace may be upon all of you. In this very auspicious occasion, where we all have gathered in order to respect and honor the first female Prime Minister of Sri Lanka and as well as of the world, Madam Sirimawo Bandaranaike, I am very privileged to share some of my views on Madam Sirimawo's future expectations on Sri Lanka. Madam Sirimawo Bandaranaike became the first female Prime Minister of the country on July 21st, 1960. Although it was her first time to enter the political arena, she was very confident and molded herself up through her abilities and her unique leadership qualities. And also, Madam Sirimawo was very successful in building a new venue to the country to travel along in the international arena, as well as her international policies and the strategies were very illustrious and they earned fame to Sri Lanka. Even though she had many political cyclones to face, she was very strong and vanquished all the difficulties through her simplicity and determination. Madam Sirimawo dreamt a nation of equity, sustainability, and where the political coexistence and national togetherness are available. And also, her expectations were very firm in building a country which is expertised in each and every sectors it had. First of all, if we weave about the political targets of Madam Bandaranaike, I should say her higher thinking has made her very simple. When Madam Bandaranaike became the first female Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, a hope among the people naturally arose that she would become the beacon of hopes and the women's development in the country, so as she did. Madam Sirimawo Bandaranaike said, "The denial of equal rights to women is a blemish on the face of civilization." Madam Bandaranaike dreamt a blemish on the face of civilization. Madam Bandaranaike dreamt a nation where the women's voices are given the prominence and proper priority which they deserve, as well as where the women's voices in the parliament are huge, influential and momentous. Madam Sirimawo Bandaranaike mostly wore handloom sarees in order to show her simplicity and as well as to show the prominence she has given for the local productions. Her dream was to make the country a center for quality products. And also, Madam Bandaranaike was very firm in her expectations to improve the multiple talents among the youth and make them ever ready to face the challenges of future and to make them to involve in international collaborations and associations. And as per her dream, today, the language of English would have become one of the prominent language of instructions, and also the English linguistic stamina would have become the major power of the youth and would have made them assisted towards the major achievements internationally. And also, Madam Sirimawo Bandaranaike had royal bonds with much of countries such as China, Cuba, Russia and the Arab world. She was very keen in maintaining the neutrality, equity and welfare throughout her global relationships, which makes everyone admired. And also, Madam Sirimawo Bandaranaike dreamt a small China, a small Russia her country should have become. A nation of neutrality, sustainability, and where each and every citizen of the land have equal rights to rejoice the freedom and stamina. That's her greatest dream of that courageous lady. And today, as Sri Lankans, we are all here holding our hands very tightly, and we trust that our nation would become to the peak of the global arena with all the cooperations and collaborations we have without any disparities and discriminations. And my dear friends and the distinguished chief guests, it's my request that let us hold our hands together and let us be courageous and smart enough to take our country to the peak of global arena, and let us be proud to pronounce the name that we are Sri Lankans. Thank you.